Hello.
Hey guys.
Hey y'all.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello. Hello.
What's up? What's up?
Hey, what is all that noise about?
I'm trying to tell you. We needed some mojo today.
Yeah, did
Definitely. Yes, it's been a rough week for us this week, and we have rough weeks, and that's one of the main purposes of us having this whole platform, this conversation that we have together every week, because we are just real women, just having some real talk, and we grinding. We are all on our grind. We know we're not alone, so why not share this with the world and whoever else is on their grind? Then they can chime in too in the comments if they like.
That's right. Yes. Well, since you talking, we know you've been through a rough week. Even your followers know you've been through a rough week. I don't know how many of y'all know who Q is. She down there in Carolina representing, but she always on Facebook every day. Facebook Live. You can count on her in the mornings to give you some form of inspiration. But I'm gonna tell you, I've been missing my boo for the last few days. So what's been up with you?
And it's been a rough couple of weeks. I found out that my grandmother is ill. She actually tested positive for COVID, and it's taken me by surprise. I had to take an impromptu trip to Jersey a week and a half ago, and my cousin and I we went up there just to check on her, make sure she was all right. Got her to the hospital, and initially we didn't get that news. So this COVID news is just came, and it kind of knocked me out of my. It knocked me off my rock a little bit. It pushed me back off my game because my grandma's 86. So, we know that this is it's a virus that is really affecting the elderly in a different way. And I just ask for, prayers, and me, I'm that person, and I do, and my to everyone who watches my live videos, I want to say thank you. And I want to apologize to you because I have not been there, and that's just real. It's just real. I've had a rough week, and I haven't been feeling like it. So it would be hypocritical for me to come on and act like I'm okay when I'm not. So I had to take that break, but that was a break, and now it's time to get back to the grind.
That's it. That's it. Wow, man, you got me over here wanting to cry. Where my tissue at?
This is real
It's
talk.
okay. It's okay. She's gonna be okay. We're keeping her in prayer. She's a strong woman, and we have no choice but to stay positive. Nothing positive is gonna come from a negative thought.
That's right.
So
That's
we're
right.
gonna just stay positive, stay in prayer. God is amazing, and He works in so many ways that we just don't even know. So, hey, this is God's fight.
That's it. That's it.
Right. Well, this is real talk, real women grinding, and we do have real life issues, day to day things going on in our lives, and we come on, and the goal is to share our business, our faith, our experiences with you, and all of that blends in. We come on here and we're looking kind of not all the way like you used to seeing us. It's okay to ask what's going on. So today we're talking about what's going on, and we're talking about the power of the mind. So, I know that we all have had some varying experiences as of late. Um, we've been shoring up Rhonda. She lost her stepson here recently, and having to go to a service. We're in the corona pandemic, and everybody can't really come and love on you like you might have loved on someone else when they lost somebody. So we're just talking about how we're navigating that, and of course you too, Carmen, Janae, with what your experience is. So we just loving on each other right now. So Rhonda, just kind of just share a little bit of where you are right now, and let us kind of see if we can shore you up.
Right now I'm crunchy. That's my word.
I like that.
Crunchy.
I say I'm crunchy when I just feel, like you don't feel good. It's not like I physically hurt
Mhm.
anywhere. I just don't feel good emotionally. Um, and then so much I had this conversation with my mother yesterday. So much with the pandemic has changed the way we do things.
Right.
Uh, I'm an avid lover. I love to go to City Winery and listen to all kinds of different groups. And like when we're at City Winery, we are so tight, we're close in there together, because it's a smaller space.
Yeah.
But you enjoy it because you get to feel the vibe of the music with other people. It's a group experience. I was thinking last night, when will we ever get to have another group experience like that? I don't know. Here in Nashville, they're going back to phase 2. Effective tomorrow, all the bars got to be shut down. No bars. Nothing for 4th of July. They're not going to do the fireworks. I experienced it in a different way being an entrepreneur because, you always, you have to stay positive, but it's hard when I deal with my past clients, my
Mhm.
future clients, and I'm dealing with people and they're like, my whole livelihood is gone.
Right.
If we have to shut down again, my business will not survive. And it gets, it just gets hard sometimes not to be crunchy. you know uh had a closing this morning and the lady said, yeah, luckily, now we have this COVID-19 disclosure where we have to say, have you filed bankruptcy? Are you still working? Are you still getting the same amount of income you were getting? Because of course the mortgage companies want to know, have your circumstances changed before they lend you hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I had a lady today, she's my age. She's in her early 50s. She said, well, thankfully, I've still been able to work from home during the pandemic. She said, but I miss my coworkers because they're my family.
Wow.
Right.
That's
Uh, I just think that at some point we're going to have to decide as a society, when we talk about safety as far as our health, at some point I think we need to include our mental health. Needs to be as big as a priority as our actual physical safety from this virus, because I just get overwhelmed with so many people who have lost their whole way of living, of making a living, and now they've got to restart. My daughter graduated with a hospitality degree in restaurant management in December. Where is she going to work? In a way, I almost feel like, oh my God, what do we just spent all this money
Yeah.
on this degree. I'm just overwhelmed. A lot of stuff, just a lot of stuff. Um, I'm waiting for us to get our son's ashes back. Uh,
mm,
we got him a beautiful urn, and but every day, some days you think it's going to get better, and some days it's worse.
yeah.
I'm just crunchy.
I like that. I like that crunchy word.
That's good.
That's real.
That's
That's
real
real.
talk.
real.
And
Real
That's
especially
talk.
so
when you were talking about so when now you guys got to ask this question, because I know Leneva, you in real estate, when you got to ask those questions, those changing COVID questions, if they answer yes to any of those questions, what happens?
They're really not supposed to be able to close.
Right.
Oh,
So
wow.
Personally, I say, okay, on this disclosure right here, your money's still the same, your income's still the same, nothing has changed, correct? And I don't give them the chance to answer, because you know what? I don't want to know. I really
right.
don't want to know. You know, um, I
Something.
it's such a touchy situation, and we have had people who could not close
Mm.
because they have been furloughed, they have been laid off, whatever. Just the other day, they were saying here to the south of us in Spring Hill, we have a GM plant. We got the Saturn plant way back in the years ago, and now they've retooled the plant, and they make other cars, other vehicles, other things. They furloughed the whole third shift. They will not have jobs. The whole third shift in Spring Hill because nobody's buying cars because we're not going nowhere. We're here.
Right.
And that's, I don't know, and honestly, I don't know anybody personally anymore that works at that plant, but it's just, the impact that's just going to have on the whole community is just, it's just heartbreaking.
Well, I have a client that works at Nissan, and we got under contract to purchase a brand new home. They were supposed to close a month and a half ago, but the return to work kept getting pushed back, and the lender won't allow you to close if you're not back to work. And once you go back to work, you have to get a check so they can see your income is still sustaining. So fortunately, we've had a very flexible builder, and he just keeps saying, okay, sign a new extension, write it up, and we'll just keep waiting. But a lot of people don't have that blessing. They did finally go back to work. But, like you said, I've got a niece who's, she's a Spelmanite. And then she graduated top of her class, did a fellowship in Japan, a Princeton fellowship in Japan for a year. So she lived over there teaching English as a second language. She studied international studies with the intent to be a translator or work in that realm. Well, she got back to the States last year in August and started cranking out those resumes. Well, when she started with the interview process, she went to Boston, she went to New York, and the girl is brilliant. When I tell you she's brilliant, no sooner than she starts running the interviews, the last one she went to, I think, was like January. Well, do I have to say anything else?
Right, exactly.
Shut it all the way down.
So did we go from 37 million to 42 million people unemployed? 45 from 37.
Yeah,
about not even a month ago it was 37, like 3 weeks ago.
Yes.
Now we have 45. And now we're talking about shutdowns nationwide again, phases, going back to phase 2. Some people going back to phase 1.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's big. And segue into it, I will be remiss not to. But I'm so thankful, y'all, and I'm grateful. For one, we have a vehicle in our business, a Planet Marketing. Yeah, we do travel. Everybody knows. Y'all should know that by now. But if y'all didn't, yes, we are travel business owners. But we are also marketing representatives where we market, and we have agencies. We allow people to own their own businesses. And if it wasn't for that residual income that's supplemented our current income, that's the problem right now that these 45 million individuals are experiencing. They're no longer unemployed. They self-employed because they now got to hit the ground running, trying to figure out how they're going to make some money from home mostly. Right. Because where they going to go? Mostly everything is shut down. So they're trying to find something where they can work from home. And I'm sorry, a lot of businesses are not hiring people now from home because they still trying to get it together to get their current employees to work from home so they can get the benefit. So it's like a domino effect. So now all these businesses are coming out online. All these, you got everything from online. So I tell you this, I say, when you're looking for something, look for these 3 things. Make sure that business is doing what we call it, they're supporting a nonprofit organization. Make sure that they're doing that. Look and see what stages are they in. Are they just starting the company? Has the company been around for more than 3 years? What are they generating? Look at that. Because you don't want to come in on a company that's at the end of something. You want to come in where they're in the beginning of something. Okay, so you want to look for these things because I know it's everything that's out there. But if it's going to help somebody while we're talking about with COVID, because I know it probably relates to a lot of people that we're talking to right now. So if this is you and you're looking for that vehicle, we have a tool especially that we can show you. No problems, no question. Put in the comments. inbox us directly. Whatever you want to do, if you want that help, if you need some other entrepreneur, these young ladies on here, full time right here, cute mom, but she's working from home part time, but doing it all with full time efforts. Then Leneva, she's a jack of all trades when it comes to entrepreneurship. I'm telling you, if you just need some guidance, some advice, some direction, this is what we're here for. Because we're here, real women talking, but we grinding, but we also experiencing life as everybody else is experiencing life. As you can tell, this is not our normal show where we got something specific. This is us truly being real. And this is us genuinely wanting to help each and every one of you if you're part of that 45 million. One of the things I say, if you're not a part of the 45 million, listen to this. Do you ride around in your vehicle without a spare tire? Do any of y'all ride around without a spare tire in your vehicle?
No, and I need to use mine right now, actually.
So, I mean, honestly, so if you don't ride around without a spare, why would you ride around without that serving your family with one income? Because when that income goes on flat, what you gonna do? So you need a spare. You need to have a plan B in your vehicle for your family. If you don't do it for you, do it for the people that's in your life.
Right.
Absolutely.
Because right now that 45 million got some mouths to feed, some children to feed, and guess what? The government is very slow now. I'm sorry about the help to include the unemployment checks, the food stamps. I'm keeping it with the WIC.
Can I get some?
Come on now, y'all.
I want some food stamps. I am not too proud.
You get what I'm saying? The card, the EBT card.
Yes.
I'm a witness. Been there, done that, got the certificate. So shoot.
Right.
It's not forthcoming like it was before the pandemic, where you can go down to the department, show your stuff, and then boom, you got like a couple of weeks and you get started. No, there's a line. You got a list. So be real about it. Going back to you, Leneva. I'm sorry.
No, you saw those people.
I want to piggyback off of what you said, Janae, because I remember being in a training, and I will never forget the example. And it's just repeating what you said. If you wouldn't ride, would you ride around on 3 wheels? Would you sit in a chair that had 3 legs?
You wouldn't sit long.
I wouldn't even try it.
Yeah.
And so many people would say, "Oh, I'm not doing that. That chair broke."
That's right.
If you wouldn't sit in a chair with 3 legs, and you would not ride in a car with 3 wheels, 2 wheels, 1 wheel, why would you depend on one source of income? It's the same thing. It is the exact same thing.
Right.
Why would you do that? A lot of the people, even if we are working, you have some of the people who a part of that 45 million who maybe their hours decreased. Maybe they didn't get laid off. Their hours just decreased. But there's still a significant change in what they're making. Mm-hmm. My thing is, and I remember when they first released the news of the stimulus checks, mm-hmm. in my mind, I said, they're going to give $1,200 to everybody. All right. Well, I know what I'm going to do. At least $200 of that can go towards a business. Mm-hmm. A lot of people pay their bills. I mean, hey, if you want to pay your bills, great. Pay your bills. I paid the bills that I needed to pay. I paid my credit card bills because I'm on a race to 800. However, my light bill, I knew that the electric companies could not turn off my lights. I knew that the water company could not turn off my water. So when I do get some money again, when I get a check, that's when I'll pay that. But that $1,200 stimulus check, that's an investment to my future, to the future of my children. And a lot of people weren't thinking like that. A lot of people were thinking, oh, I need to pay my rent. Why? They're not going to evict you. Why? The mortgage company's not going to foreclose on you in this first month. Why?
This girl got down to science.
That's how I thought about it. Call it crazy. I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
That's not crazy. That's you putting that money to work. You
I'm
know what
making
I'm
it
saying?
work for
Because
me.
it's just like anything else. You got to take that money, you got to flip that money, you got to make that money work for you.
Got to
Because
make
if
that.
you just paying bills, then what did you do?
You working for money.
Exactly, because at this time again next month, you're gonna be
You gonna
looking
have the
for
same
the same
bills.
thing. And if you haven't, invested it, flipped it, done whatever, I'm gonna say one thing about um, the things that's happened recently. It has made me sit back and think about what I do,
Yeah.
about what I do to make a living, and the stuff that I don't like to do, I'm not doing it no more.
Oh,
I'm not
well,
doing it
test
no more.
girl. Mm-hmm.
And I only want to do the happy stuff. You know, uh, don't get me wrong. When we sell a house, a lot of times we're dealing with people relocating to the area because they want to be close to a parent, or the parents want to be close to grandkids and different stuff like that, or maybe somebody buying their house, first time buyer. So there's joy. Those occasions are true joy. They really are. Even when we've had to do the not so fun work, like when we've dealt with foreclosures, we dealt with short sales. A lot of times you can see the relief in somebody's face when you get them out of that situation. Because sometimes you have to explain to a person, this is a building. It's not necessarily your home. This is just a building. And that building can be replaced. And you can make your
That's,
home in a different place. So
Yes.
that's
I've gotten to the point where I only want to do happy work. You know, yeah, it's true right now we can't travel to certain places like we want to. You know, the EU not letting us in. Right now the European Union not letting us in. That's cool. I like Mexico anyway.
There you go.
we can go to the Dominican. We can go
Yeah,
to
there's other
Jamaica.
things
All
we
the
can do.
Caribbean.
But I just
My
want to
girl's
focus
in Cancun right now.
right. I want to focus on happy stuff. Stuff that makes you happy, and you can make your money at the same time. Then that's what you need to focus on.
So, like, when we planned this, decided what we were going to talk about today, we actually were talking about the power of the mind and auto suggestion using coming out of the book Think and Grow Rich, which Carmen Janae has suggested. There it is, Think and Grow Rich. Yes. And so it's about what's going on in your subconscious, your five senses, and what your mind is allowing to come forth out of that subconscious. What is your conscious mind blocking from what's going on in your subconscious that needs to be released? Um, and so the power of the mind is amazing. And like we were talking about, what do you do to get your day going? What is it that you say? Carmen asked me, what do you say every day to yourself? And I told her, and I'm telling you guys, I say today is a good day to have a good day. And I do that because I know as my day progresses, there's no telling what I'm going to encounter or who, what kind of mood they're going to be in, what kind of mood they're going to want to put me in. But I keep my mind stayed on that concept. That way, when I respond to them, if they need love and kindness, if they feeling like we're talking about feeling crunchy today, if they got a bad attitude or they're not in the mind space that Rhonda mentioned about dealing with having to come out of that house or that busted relationship or or the person who's being abusive. I talked to someone that felt guilty because a holiday came and she had decided not to celebrate the guy who had been abusive to her, you know, the day before because it was the celebration day and it was outside of her character. And I'm like, baby, no, no, no. We don't reward bad behavior.
Right.
And
Yeah, that's right.
I have to say today is a good day to have a good day to keep myself balanced and stabilized so I can bob and weave throughout the day.
Right.
Yes.
Q, you mentioned that, dealing with your grandma, we do this on Thursdays at the same time, and you have forgotten
I checked out. I
today.
did.
You know,
Mhm.
And even you, Carmen, you mentioned some things that were going on and some encouraging words that you had gotten to help you navigate through. So the power of the mind is amazing. And since this book was your brainchild today, why don't you just enlighten us a little bit more about where you want us to take that, Carmen? Janae, I keep wanting to call you Carmen.
It's cool. Basically, y'all, I don't know if y'all see this on my wall.
Uh-huh.
So this is my mantra. This is what I write down. When Lenita talk about, the power of the mind, it's even more powerful when you put it on paper. It's even more powerful when you see it every day. I always say, y'all should see my bathroom. I would take y'all, but we ain't got enough time right now. We ain't gonna do that to her. But you see sticky notes and stuff on the bathroom mirror because I brush my teeth. Like Leneva said, today is a good day. I say I'm building an empire. I'm a boss. I'm helping other people. I am going to be a millionaire. All in order as I'm brushing my teeth.
So you have affirmations everywhere.
Affirmations for real, because those are auto suggestions. Those are positive auto suggestions in your mind. And if y'all guys don't know what we're saying, auto suggestion, just break it down. It's the agency of control through which an individual may voluntarily feed their subconscious mind thoughts, like Leneva said, of a creative nature. It can be positive or it can be negative, but it's either way. You can permit the thoughts of destructive nature or positive nature into that mind. And so Q could have said today when she forgot about the show, no, I'm not gonna do it today, girl. I'm not ready. I'm totally not ready. Rhonda, we can tell how sister are in her spirit. I was like, boo, what's wrong? She got to tell us. She could have bowed out today too, y'all. She could have said, no. It could have just been me and Leneva on here. You know what I mean? Right? We would have covered down. But they was like, no, their mindset, the positiveness, the things that they already have built up into their character in their subconscious wouldn't allow a negative moment impact them for the rest of the day. Matter of fact, he was like, oh, I'm ready to go now. It's time to get my game face on. She just needed that.
And that's why we need, I'm sorry, Carmen. And that's why we need people around us who are going to uplift us, because that positivity, sometimes you're not going to be positive all the time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Like, that's not even realistic.
Right.
But when you do have those moments and you are feeling down and you do need that pick me up, that's why it's important to have the people around you who are like-minded, who are in the same space, who have goals, who are striving to reach those goals. I mean, everybody might have a goal, but everybody's not striving to reach that goal. So just having somebody to say, listen, you can't have anything positive when you're thinking negative. That's amazing. And sometimes that's all you need to just get it back together and say, all right, I'm done with that. Let's go.
Let's go.
Can't have anything positive when you're thinking negative. Wow.
True.
Okay, that's like
Let me write that down.
end of the show. Write that down if you didn't.
My notes. Sorry.
I'm going to write it down too because I forget it.
This is a post-it note situation. Y'all, I still have post-it notes, okay? That's right. So, yeah, out of respect for everybody's time, we want to roll around here and say anything to the crew that's hanging out with us today. Anything to keep them going to next Thursday when we hang out?
My thing that I say to myself is Isaiah 43:19. I can do all things.
Woo. Yes.
Through Christ who strengthens me.
Amen.
Amen.
And that's like the main thing that keeps me going, because I know even though I feel like I ain't gonna make it, I know I can.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna drop the mic on that one. There you go, boo. It's out.
Yeah.
Nothing said. That's a wrap, Leneva.
End of the show. I mean, between what Q said and what Rhonda said, Isaiah 43:19, boom, I can do all things. I think we're done.
We good. Done, son.
Okay, now I know we got our we always have our go out music because we like to
That's right.
Let's get
go on.
it,
But
y'all.
next Thursday, right here, 12:30 Central, 1:30 Eastern, real talk with real women grinding.
That's it.
Hey, there he is. Rhonda, do the snake.
Hey,
Bye, y'all.
you guys have a great week.
All right.